A fundamentalist modernist controversy in Protestant ranks exploded in the 1920s and 1930s. Mark Knoll pointed out that although the booklet, The Fundamentals, a testimony to the truth, had been widely circulated between 1910 and 1915, it was ignored by academia. That changed in 1923 when Gresham Machen published Christianity and Liberalism after 1,200 Presbyterian ministers signed the Auburn Affirmation, which challenged the Bible's inerrancy, the miracles of Christ, and his incarnation and resurrection. According to James Barr, his, quote, much discussed book vaulted him into the middle of this theological battle, end quote. Machen had been a professor of New Testament at Princeton Theological Seminary from 1906 to 1929. Disturbed by Princeton's move toward liberalism, he left and started his own seminary, Westminster Theological Seminary. In 1933, he founded his own board of foreign missions because the Presbyterian board began supporting missionaries like Pearl Buck. Grant Wacker stated that Machen demanded the board fire her for unorthodox, clearly unchristian beliefs. Machen was charged by his presbytery with insubordination in 1934 because he would not close his board of missions. The presbytery found him guilty in 1935 and revoked his ordination. After his appeal to the General Assembly failed, he formed his own denomination, the Orthodox Presbyterian Church. According to James Barr, Machen's trial was covered by the newspapers, particularly the New York Times, the Baltimore Sun, and the Philadelphia Inquirer. The papers identified him as a fundamentalist, a term that, quote, became synonymous with a popular movement whose leadership often lacked formal education in theology and doctrine, unquote. As a member of academia, he did not like or accept this term and said, quote, do you suppose that I do regret my being called by a term that I greatly dislike, a fundamentalist? Most certainly I do. But in the presence of a great common foe, I have little time to be attacking my brethren who stand with me in defense of the Word of God, end quote. One prominent liberal minister questioned the trial. The New York Times published Dr. Daniel Russell's article March 31st, 1935, in which he said, quote, the whole proceeding raises grave questions for the Presbyterian Church. Was Dr. Machen's trial a fair one? Was the action of the General Assembly of 1934 constitutional? End quote. He went on to encourage the General Assembly to reverse or modify its action against Machen. After the trial, Machen went on to found his denomination. When he died from pneumonia unexpectedly in January 1937, atheist H.L. Mencken wrote in his January 18, 1937 obituary in the Evening Sun, quote, what caused him to quit the Princeton Theological Seminary and found a seminary of his own was his complete inability as a theologian to square the disingenuous evasions of modernism with the fundamentals of Christian doctrine. He saw clearly that the only effects that could follow diluting and polluting Christianity in the modernist manner would be its complete abandonment and ruin. Either it was true or it was not true. If, as he believed it was true, then there could be no compromise with persons who sought to whittle away its essential postulates, however respectable their motives. Thus he fell out with the reformers who had been trying in late years to convert the Presbyterian Church into a kind of literary and social club, devoted vaguely to good works, end quote. Machen, in his book Christianity and Liberalism, declared, quote, in the sphere of religion, the present time is a time of conflict. The great redemptive religion, which has always been known as Christianity, is battling against a totally diverse type of religious belief, which is only more destructive of the Christian faith because it makes use of traditional Christian terminology. The modern non-redemptive religion is called modernism or liberalism, end quote. His words are still true today. Institutions like Liberty University have joined the battle as evidenced by their biblical principles and the study of history guidelines. We as historians would do well to heed these principles and follow Machen into the defense of true Christianity.